Dave MacArthur turning new, very keen, they're already there, waiting. Remember, Chris and Richie Lawrence are running in their engine today, so they're not on full power. So Chris tells me they'll be quite happy to just consolidate a third place run today and have the engine all nicely run in for the next round. So Mark Halls, Darren Prentice have got it on pole. Dave MacArthur, Tony New alongside them. Darryl Williams, Brian Flynn, and then the Lawrence brothers on the second row. But I don't see Darryl Williams and Brian Flynn. They seem to be missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 have made it to the grid. Lights are on. They're away. Yeah, that's a great start from Mark Halls. He's well off into the lead. Very slippy out there. They'll all be running wets. All safely round turn 1. Wow, pretty slippy out there. They're all sliding round turn 1. Yeah, Mark Halls, Darren Prentice comfortably out in front, setting the pace. That outfit's been fast all weekend. Sliding it nicely out of turn 4. Dave MacArthur, Tony New in second. Third place, the Lawrence brothers. That was the order in race 1. Looks to be happening again in race 2. Now, Chris Lawrence was telling me they can raise the revs on their running in engine 1,000 revs each race. So at the moment, they're actually staying with Dave MacArthur and Tony New. So they might even have a sniff at second place if they carry on the pace they've got. But this is where he'll have to back off the throttle along the straight here. So Mark Halls, Darren Prentice, safely over the line, way out ahead. There's Dave MacArthur. Yeah, and the Lawrence brothers are still having to back off that throttle. Only revving it up to 9,000 instead of 12. So I think they'd rather just take it easy today and have a fresh engine for the last round, the all-important last round. So fourth place, Ian and Warren Burke. Just got over the line. And Darryl Williams and Brian Flynn in 5th. That's really slippy out there. Everyone's being really cautious. They don't want to crash this last meet of the day. Just bring it home safe. Yeah, the Lawrence brothers are right on the back of Darryl New, going out of turn 5 as they head towards turn 6. Looks like they might be making a challenge there. We'll just see as they enter turn 6. There they are. The Lawrence brothers are trying to go around the outside of Dave MacArthur. Mark Halls, Darren Prentice, comfortably out in front. But here we go, they're coming up the hill together, but the Lawrence brothers are going to have to back the throttle off a bit when it hits 9,000. So that's letting Dave MacArthur, there he goes, put a few lengths between them, but Chris and Richie, Chris will just be super late on the brakes, knowing he can't use all the engine performance. So he's just going to track him round. He's within sighting distance of him. There's only a couple of, maybe a half a second between them. So again, Chris Lawrence just closes the gap up on the brakes. So the running order remained the same, no passes on this lap. But again, into turn 4, Chris Lawrence is really late on the brakes. So he's right on the back of Darren Prentice and Mark Halls as they come down to turn 5. But it's always going to be that drag to the line where they're going to have to drop the throttle a little bit. So you can tell the outfit's handling really nicely. If they lock onto the back of Dave MacArthur and Tony New. Mark Halls, Darren Prentice happily over the line. 3 laps down, only a 5-lap race. As they come up over the line, the Lawrence brothers are right a bit closer this time round, so maybe they're just able to up the revs maybe 500 or so, because Dave MacArthur and Tony New are not getting away. So I think they're going to hound them. 2 laps to go. In fact, they are. The Lawrence brothers are actually challenging as they go into turn 2 successfully. Great move. So Chris and Richie Lawrence move into 2nd place, running in their engine. That's going to give Dave MacArthur a wake-up call. But he's actually gapped them maybe 2 or 3 tenths as they come down to turn 5. It is the Lawrence brothers in 2nd place. Dave MacArthur, Tony New will give it the whole beans as they come up to turn 6. Yeah, they're closing the gap, you can see it. They're going to be right on top of each other into turn 6, and they are. So maybe as these laps wind down, Chris and Richie Lawrence can just keep raising the revs a bit. Yeah, and you can see they're just coming up the hill. They're keeping the gap constant. But here we go, you can see them now. Dave MacArthur has got the pace. He's going to go past him on the outside. Yep, that's what's happened. So that's a white flag. So it is Dave MacArthur and Tony New in 2nd, with Chris and Richie Lawrence stalking them. You're going to have to do some more late braking duties on this lap. Lap 4 out of 6. Into turn 2. Positions stay as they are. Over the hill, turn 3 and down to turn 4. This is where the Lawrence brothers made a move last time, and again they're very late in the brakes. So they're all over the back of Dave MacArthur, but they can't get the power on coming out of the corners. That's the problem with this engine they're running in. They can't give it the berries. But again on the brakes, they're almost touching the back of them into turn 5. Nice tight line from the Lawrence brothers. They're rolling the throttle on. Yep, they're alongside each other, heading down the back straight to turn 6. He went round the outside last time. Can he do the same thing again? He can indeed. Sliding his way into turn 6, and he's gone a little bit wide, which has allowed Dave MacArthur to slide up inside him. So Dave MacArthur's going to have the advantage as they come up to the line, but he's opening it up obviously because the Lawrence brothers are looking to pass him on the outside. Will they be able to do it? It's a few hundred yards to the line dash. Is he going to risk that engine? No, he's not. It's going to be Dave MacArthur. Dave MacArthur and Tony New get 2nd. Chris Lawrence, Richie Lawrence, happy in 3rd place, consolidating their championship lead, they hope. And looking forward to the next round where they'll have their engine fresh. That's their running in over. So Mark Halls, Darren Prentice, comfortably a win. 131 in the rain. Dave MacArthur, Tony New 2nd. Chris and Richie Lawrence 3rd. Darryl Williams and Brian Flynn home fourth. We're just waiting for the last two units to come over. So great days racing here today, Hampden Downs. The conditions were pretty trying for the riders. The temperature really never got up, the cloud never moved, the wind moved around a little bit, some rain in between, so it wasn't the easiest of race days. Yeah, that's the Ian and Warren Burt bringing their unit home in fourth place. The guys from Edgecombe on their R6 sidecar. So well done, Mark Halls, Darren Prentice. Sponsored by Marketing Works, R&R Power Sports, Inox New Zealand, M&M Engineering and Maintenance. Good clean sweep today, 2 out of 2 for Mark Halls and Darren Prentice. So thanks everyone for a great day's racing. That brings us to the end of the program.